everyone, and welcome to Check Out This Guy. This time we have more guys for you to check out from another guest. Our second guest is here. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Dark Wizard James Mason.
I forgot to say my name, and I'm Morg, and I use they, them pronouns. I'm sorry. Very sporadic here.
I'm Emery. I also have a name. My pronouns are they, she, he, and I would never do an introduction in the correct order.
Why should we? Why should we?
Welcome, James. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I also forgot to say I'm she, her.
Of course.
Yes.
So yeah, you told us that you had a bunch of pixel art OCs based off of actually, why don't you tell us more about that, because I'm not overly familiar with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't say they were pixel art OCs. I did a few pixel art things, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, my mistake. So why don't you tell us, intro us to what you're going to be talking about.
Okay, so in the 2000s, there were webcomics. And one variant of these webcomics were sprite comics. Now, these either took from existing sprites, from existing games, or modified sprites from existing games, or just created their own pixels art sprite stuff.
Yeah, I think some people might be familiar with those. Any prominent ones you want to shout out that people might be aware of?
Have you heard of Bob and George?
I don't think so.
Because that one
Sounds familiar.
That one actually, caused a huge boom in 2000, and went on for, 7 years, too.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's like a Mega Man based one, and yeah, okay, I have seen this before. I don't know a ton about it, but I was looking it up.
Yeah, funny thing, did not originally, meant to be any way associated with Mega Man or, sprites. It was originally meant to be hand-drawn, but, the author, at first they couldn't, get their stuff scanned onto the computer, and then they could get their stuff scanned onto the computer. They just did not feel that their work was good enough, so they went back onto the sprite stuff full on, and just worked his two main characters from the hand-drawn comic into the sprite comic.
Yeah, also drawing a comic on its own is more work than I'm capable of. So
oh, that's a mood.
Big salute to anyone who actually does it.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, this went on till 2007, so pretty long.
Yeah, and in the arc, and it obviously inspired a bunch of other comics, some of which was hosted on its site.
Yeah, so it wasn't just the one. It was the artist was also hosting other creators.
Oh yeah, here's the ones that got hosted on site. Posting a link in the voice text.
Oh, this is yours.
Oh yeah, what I posted in the voice text was me doing my persona in that style.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I'll just sort of describe what I'm looking at here. This is you know how you see those sprite sheets that just have sort of every like possible frame of animation from like an old school like 8-bit or 16-bit game, and like sort of just all those frames are sort of laid out in a row. So, you know, you have like every frame, you know, every like sprite in the running animation, like the jumping animation, what have you. So we have one of those here, and yeah, looks like this was edited from Mega Man based on like the silhouette, and it is edited to look like James' persona, which is a cat.
Yeah, I love the, like, because you have to add stuff to it, because it has, like, a tail and stuff, like, so there's definitely, like, work put in, you know?
Yeah.
And the little weapons are cute.
Yeah. And since the sprites were always sort of... they were designed for, like, games that and meant to be animated, some people had, like, special comics where they were, of course, animated. And some were just animated every comic. This old Sonic comic was, well, it was basically GIFs, but basically a comic called Controls CVZ. I cannot find this anymore, though. Partially because of the shitification of Google. But, yeah, I cannot and many of these are lost media now, so that's a shame.
Is that the one that's, like, got Mario and stuff in it that we've, like, talked about on Sonic Shuffle?
No,
No, it's not. Okay.
It's just Sonic characters.
Okay.
Many of these are lost media, and many of them have not even properly finished.
Yeah, the 2010s really was a different era with, like, you know, there were, you know, so many people were like hosting their own websites to, you know, with their own web comics and stuff, and now they've just all become like so centralized. You're losing a lot of that, and a lot of those like domains are expiring, and fucking Flash died, and that just killed off, you know, such a such a huge swath of like independently created content. So yeah, stuff's going away, and I don't like it.
It's kind of crazy because at least like this thing you linked, like the newest comic, it was 2009. Like, I can't even say 20 whatever because it's 2009. It's pre 2010. It's like I'm like almost surprised that this website's up. Knock on wood that it stays up, but it feels like it's from another time, and that's like really cool and nostalgic.
Look at this fucking tiled background.
Yeah.
I'm saluting.
Yeah.
Bring back tiled backgrounds. I miss them. I want to see them more.
For real.
Now, of course, since it was the 2000s, many of them have, like, humor that is of the time.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of them not being great.
Yeah, that we were all there. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We all lived to some extent through the 2000s, so... At least us, maybe not our listeners. Oh boy.
Although, here's actually one that is, well, it did stop for a bit, but is still going, actually.
Ooh.
Planet Zabeth.
Oh my god!
How long has this one fucking been? Oh my gosh, look at this web. Oh, this looks like it's straight from fucking 1998. It's beautiful.
I love to see the words June 10th, 2023, though. It's extremely good.
Yeah, it is. Oh, and right below the comic, there's a blog post about the fucking author getting married.
Yeah!
Congratulations.
Congrats. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at all these heart emojis. There's so many.
I love it. Oh my god. Yeah, I was like, when did the fuck did this start? What is it? Planet Zebeth. Is that how you say it? Zebeth.
Yep. It seems like the date of the first comic is March 16, 2002. And the navigation buttons are, like, of Samus, because this is, like, Metroid.
Oh, those are navigation buttons.
That
That's
rocks.
what that is.
Oh yeah, because it's linking to Discord here and the archives. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm on the first motherfucking page. 2002, March 16th.
That's what...
Holy shit.
Such a...
21 goddamn years.
Yeah, now I'm wondering how old they're... Because, like, they got married, right? So they're, like... I, like, wonder when they... Like, how old they were when they started. Like, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Also, the author is trans.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That rocks.
And has edited earlier comics to reflect that, apparently.
It does leak into our art.
Yeah, so James, why don't you tell us a little more about your own characters and yeah, how they were inspired by or relate to all these Sprite comics.
Sprite comics, Sprite comics can help with the pixel art skills, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the creator of SLRPG or Super Lesbian Animal RPG,
Yes.
she was, like, a fan of Bob and George and, like, did pixel art stuff of Mega Man and stuff before like, getting into doing pixel art stuff and making her own stuff.
Yeah, and for those who haven't seen it or played it, like the artwork in SLA RPG is fucking gorgeous. It's like so pastel and pretty. It's a great looking game.
That does not surprise me at all that she was into, like, that stuff, because she does the whole, like, thanks Ken Pender's Sonic blog stuff. Like, that's how I found out about her. So...
Yeah, same.
Also, back in the day, I remember reading a webcomic that crossed over Mega Man and Sonic.
Hell yeah.
A Sprite comic, that is. So,
Oh, I was gonna say, you mean the official Archie comic?
Right, yeah.
That crossed over Sonic and Mega Man and fucking kicked off, like, the reboot of the Sonic comic post Ken Pender's lawsuit.
Yep.
I'm saluting.
Thank you, Ian Flynn. Not thank you, Ken Penders.
But, no, that's so fascinating. It's like a historical document.
But yeah, my characters, ones I specifically really want to feel like we're influenced by that. We're influenced by what Sprite comics specifically are like the four that I kind of want to make, like, kind of want to be characters in a game, of course.
These are cute. Yeah, tell us about these four.
Well, the Red Cat Girl, Carmine. She is sort of the main, I guess. God, I want to share the first pic I drew and I can't find it. I forgot what name I gave it. I give everything, like, unique names, and now I can't find anything. But yeah, Carmine is sort of like this sort of fighter-ish, knight-ish figure. Oh man, that reminds me. One other major webcomic, or Sprite comic, 8-Bit Theater, if you've, like, ever heard of it.
Yes, I have heard of 8-Bit Theater. Not in a long time.
Yeah, it's a sprite comic based around the first Final Fantasy that did properly end, and the creator actually went on to do a lot, actually, in comics. Normal comics.
Yeah, I was like, they have a website, and I was like, this is drawn. It looks like, yeah, they moved on to drawing comics.
I think that's probably the biggest inspiration on my idea, at least. Considering 4 characters, it's an RPG. Or, like, my idea's an RPG.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you did say Carmine's, like, kind of a knight. That's very fantasy RPG.
Yeah, so what about the others?
Oh, there!
Well, the raccoon, the second one from the left, there, Twani, is sort of like a healer. Like, they have a hammer. Oh, also, Carmine, trans girl, 28 gender. I sort of thought of them as, like, chiropractor before I learned more about chiropractors and learned that's kind of a sort of scam profession, but still. But yeah, the idea would be they would hit you and like heal you.
The good thing about magic is that they can still do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I sort of have this idea, the setting where everyone can use magic, it's just a question of how.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tangerine, easily pissed off cow thief.
Is that a back scratcher that they're holding?
Yes. Because, like, the whole backstab, back scratch.
Uh-huh.
And finally, Weiss, the old dragon mage.
Aw.
They got the fucking classic wizard robe over there. It's got stars and moons and shit.
Well, it's clothes that feel good on them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tangerine is demigirl and Weiss would be gender fluid. Also, Weiss is, but Carmine has a sword and Weiss has, like, a dice cup, but, like, with weighted dice, because the thing is, it's like, full-on mage, and, like, you're supposed to practice, like, making the dice land somewhere else using magic.
Is it like chance magic, kind of? Because it's, like, dice-related? Like, is there some kind of...
No, it's...
No.
It's sort of, like, a training thing for wizards,
Gotcha.
but they just sort of like it in general as, like, a sort of STEM thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like that mouth style. What do you call it? Where it's wavy W mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, consummate V's.
Okay.
as they say. Yeah, so what about these characters' personalities? What's setting them apart? What are they like?
Well, Carmine is, like, sort of the most forward, most energetic.
Sure, your standard shonen protagonist. You gotta, of course.
Yeah. Twani's just chill. Tangerine, like, is, like...
You said pissed off.
Yeah. They're, like, on a hair trigger and stuff. And Weiss is, like, very shy and anxious.
They just like me. For real. They look very huggable.
Yeah, I started out with Weiss thinner, but then I just decided, no, it should be fatter.
Is, based on the first picture is Tangerine the shortest?
Mm.
Or do they just have short person energy?
I guess short person energy is more like it.
Yeah. I'm just picturing them. Even though they're a cow, even though she's a cow, I'm, like, picturing, like, short, angry.
Also, every character that, like, I give horns, I seem to prefer having one of their horns, like, messed up or broken or something.
Yeah, gotta get some asymmetry in there.
Yeah, sometimes asymmetry makes things more interesting.
I've considered it on my own guy.
So what about the world these characters are kicking around in? What's the setting like?
Well, like I said, I want it to be like everyone uses magic, and like it's also like all the people are like animal people. There's not humans or anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is like sort of a story I've worked on, thought about like for years, and like change ideas of in the background. Like I've changed. Oh, and there's like one more major character actually, who's not part of the team. It's Carmine's brother, Azure. What they would do has changed in my head completely. Like, although they're sort of working against Carmine, but for like very different reasons I originally thought.
Ooh, yeah, tell us about the change. If you have an idea about it.
Originally, I wanted it to be like a sort of tragic thing that they were being forced into it, but due to a bunch of stuff that happened in my life, I decided that they chose a very different path in life, and like because of that, disagree a lot with what Carmine wants to do and with what he wants to do. Basically, a rival character. Like, this story basically starts at the end of, like, basically college and stuff. And, like, basically they go out into the world and, like, go do stuff and, like, get involved and, like things get serious, and I hate to compare it to anything. I'm sort of thinking of, like, SMT4, where like, it's about these people who basically, like, get chosen as samurai and learn more about the world and, like, decide on factions and, like, what's best for everyone, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a piece of fiction that you could compare it to, like we we talk about our influences all the time on this podcast, so yeah, it can be helpful to like have that point of comparison.
Because yeah, SMT4 it starts with the samurai ceremony, and like the player character and like the other people who graduate the ceremony are like 18, so like. Yeah, it's about, like, the world and growing up and, like, finding your place or, like, something like that.
Yeah. Did you have, like, any particular, like, character arcs in mind, like, related to this, like, growth and new understanding?
Like, yeah, Carmine would, like, and Azure would eventually drift and, like, fight each other, and, like, Weiss and Carmine would, like, start dating, you know?
I feel like I end up putting, like, family drama stuff like that in my shit all the time, even though I'm like, I have a great relationship with my sister.
Listen, sometimes you gotta make them fight. Sometimes you gotta bash the action figures together.
So true.
Yeah, I don't have a great relationship with most of my family, so...
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. My oldest sibling may have been the reason why I've changed things with Azure.
I definitely find more of myself in my fiction than I expect to.
Yeah, I feel that a lot. Like, yeah, when I'm playing a TTRPG character, like, you know, a lot of my choices for them, you know, whether consciously or not, are like very influenced by like stuff I'm like going through and experiencing in my life. So yeah, it's I'm always interested in like finding those parallels and being like, oh yeah, here's why oh, that's why I was interested in making this decision or following this idea, you know.
Mm-hmm. Even if they're not exactly me, like, they'll make similar choices to what I might make, or, like, maybe even opposite choices, because I'm like, oh, what would happen if I did this instead? Sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess, like, all the characters are sort of based off me, or parts of my personality.
And sometimes you're like, wow, this became not me at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to know, does Tawny, like, use that hammer for, like, fighting also, or are they mostly a healer?
Yeah, also fighting.
Yeah. It's a very distinctly big hammer.
Yeah, get a they them who can do both.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of what to ask next. Yeah, any little like interesting little details of this world or of these characters that that sort of stand out to you, that any little details where it's like, oh yeah, that's the good shit. That's a really cool idea, or anything like that.
Some hundreds of years ago, this dragon society decided, you know what? We're doing flying islands, and we're just gonna live there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what flying island means? It means airship.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have airship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, does what's the tech like in this world? Do you know? Do you have like a vibe to it? Because like it does have very fantasy vibes, but then like I see Tangerine dressed kind of like me, like, you know, just dressed like, it's like obviously there's wizard robe, but then there's also like modern-y clothes, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Like, I want to say equivalent to modern, but like Final Fantasy has, like, modern-ish stuff, but also, like...
Yeah.
But also, like, wacky, like, fantastical... These things that pump out energy that glows... sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. They kind of have, like, magic hijinks, but also modern fashion sometimes.
Yeah.
If there's airships, I was like, are they more like planes? Are they more like flying cars?
Yeah. What aesthetic are we going here for the airships? Are we talking about like some fucking old timey like sailing ships, but with like propellers and shit? Are we talking about like, or something more futuristic? What are we looking at here?
Trying to see if I can like get an image of an airship from, like, there's this game called Saga Frontier, and it has, like, a decent idea for what I want as an airship. Kind of like a bit of, like, both wacky fantasy airships and also, like, kind of modern-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Like a sort of flying fortress sort of thing for, like, some of the big ones. Like, you could technically walk outside and, like, stand on platforms and stuff. Oh man, if you remember the second Pokemon movie, that big hole where the villain has, like, this big...
Yeah, I'm like... They have the big airship that they capture all the, like all the legendary birds in, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wacky stuff like that.
It's like a palace, it looks like. It's kind of crazy looking. They actually call it the Flying Palace.
Oh, hell yeah. That's got some radial symmetry. That's a real fucker right there.
Yeah. He plans all his, like, capturing operations up there and stuff. Yeah, no, that's a whole vibe for sure.
Yeah, so any last thoughts before we wrap it up? We're getting close to the top of the hour.
Yeah, I would have, if I had, like, any sort of skill or anything at making a sprite comic, I would have chosen like some Red Tails edit, like Tails the Fox edit, as my avatar. Because that was the one...
Yeah, we love Tails. Very trans. Very good.
Yeah, because that was definitely the one I had in mind back then. When it wasn't like a generic Mega Man recolor. It would have been a generic Tails recolor. Now, I remember this one sprite comic with a Tails that was green. Can't for the life of me remember the name.
Yeah, so yeah, why don't we head on over to our plugs then? James, where can we find you?
I'm at Tumblr, Dark Wisdom James Mason. I'm at co-host under Dark Wizard James Mason, and I'm at YouTube at James Mason, and there's like a bunch of numbers since YouTube updated username stuff.
Yeah, we can link that. Make it easier to find if it has all the numbers, but that's no problem.
Yeah. All right, I'm Emery. I'm on a podcast called We Rate Queerbait, where we explore the blurry line between homie and homo. I'm also on an upcoming audio drama pilot, news forthcoming. I'm on fucking For Affinity with the username Space Robot. I'm also doing Art Fight this year. I think it'll be either over or close to over by the time this comes out, but hey, fucking... I'm also Space Robot and Art Fight. You can maybe go there and look at all of the attacks I've done. Also, I got a bunch of my characters posted there.
Did you, do you post those on your For Affinity?
No, I haven't updated my For Affinity in a fucking minute. I got a kind of a backlog that I gotta post there.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't touched that in a while. I just gotta fucking, I think it's one of those things where it's like I missed a few updates with after finishing artwork, and then it's like, man, I got a backlog. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah. I don't want to upload multiple things in a row. That's a drag.
Yeah.
I just gotta fucking do it though,
Yeah, that's kind of a mood.
Fucking everything's posted on Discord though.
Yeah, join our Discord. We don't have Spike here to be like, you can only find me on Discord. But no, you can find us on Discord. All three of us, actually. Because James is also there. Other than the Discord, you can also find me on co-host Tumblr, or co-host at Gengar, Tumblr, and Twitter still, I guess, at Haunting the Morgue. Most places other than co-host at Haunting the Morgue, really. You can also find me on my other podcasts, Ford 430, a Re-Zero Watch podcast, and the Sonic Shuffle, which I mentioned earlier, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. Well, because we talked about on one of the episodes where we talked about like miscellaneous, or no, it was like fan stuff. There's like sprite videos that have like Mario and Sonic, and they're doing
Super Mario Brothers Z.
Yeah, yes. Super Mario Brothers Z, it has like that sprite vibe to it, because they take stuff from the games too. So, yeah, I think that is it for me. And you can find all of us, or you can find us, the podcast, on noisepace.xyz, a podcast incubator run by Matt GameCube.
Thank you, Matt GameCube.
Thank you, Matt GameCube. Lots of good stuff on there, including my podcasts. What else? You can find social media for this podcast on co-host and Tumblr at Check Out This Guy, all one word. I think that's it.
Yeah, we also have the aforementioned Discord. Yes. We do Tokusatsu Mondays. On Mondays, we just fucking finished Garo. We did a 3-part finale of Garo. It got fucking nutty at the end. It was, things were a little shaky for a while with Garo. But then it just completely went off its shits and had the final boss be a giant flying naked lady, which was really funny.
Oh, good. I missed it.
So now we're just going straight through with Kamen Rider Double, which has been silly from the beginning. Then also I'm doing art streams on Friday. Fucking come catch me drawing some bullshit. Maybe usually it'll be OCs that I'm doing. Also, you can fucking commission me. I forgot to say that, but if you do that, I might draw that on stream. Also, it's not just a stream. We're doing it in voice chat. You can come in, say hi, fucking chat with other people there. It's a real nice time.
Distract Emery from her drawing. No.
Make me do things that aren't art. But yeah, I think that about does it. So until next time, anyone, you can just make one of those websites. You can make a website and have the backgrounds be tiled. I'm just saying, nothing is stopping you.
Make a website about your guys with tiled background.
You can make...
People have, like,
You can put as much yellow text as you want on there.
God.
You can put some fucking CSS borders. You can make it look like anything you want. Put a GIF in.
Emery's telling you to get a NeoCities page.
All right, bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.